विनायक नमस्तुभ्यं सततं मोदकप्रिय निर्विघ्नं कुरु नो देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामः सिद्धिर्भवतु नो सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुमरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि। श्रीरघुराम चारुतुलसीदलधाम शमक्षमादिशृङ्गारगुणाभिराम त्रिजगन्नुतशौर्यरमाललाम दुर्वारुकबन्धराक्षसविराम जगज्जनकल्मषार्णवोत्तारकनाम भद्रगिरिदाशरथी करुणापयोनिधि। आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनूमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। अद्यतन पंचांगम जान् 29 प्लवनाम संवत्सरे उत्तरायणे शिशिर ऋतौ पौष्यमासे कृष्णपक्षे द्वादशी तिथि till 10:07 AM followed by त्रयोदशी till 6:58 AM tomorrow morning, which means त्रयोदशी will quickly end tomorrow and then chaturdashi will start. स्थिरवासरः मूला नक्षत्रम till 4:19 PM followed by पूर्वाषाढ़ा नक्षत्रम. हर्षण योगः till almost 3:46 AM followed by vajra योगः. तैतिलकरणं till 10:07 followed by gara योगः till 20:33 followed by vanik योगः till 6:58. So if you see the two tithis that are coming today, dvadashi and trayodashi, so you have two karanams also coinciding. Normally you have only one tithi within the 24-hour span. Last every week that we saw. So one of the karanam will be coinciding with that tithi. This time because we have two tithis on the same day, so we have two karanams coinciding at the same time. After that Vishti karanam will start tomorrow morning. Sarvebhyah suprabhatam. So 53rd sarga we completed. Can anyone recap or summarize?
यदा विश्वामित्र राज्ञा धेनुः विषये वसिष्ठं पृच्छति तदा वसिष्ठः अवदत् कथंचिदपि अहम् अस्य धेनोः दानं न करिष्यामि। सर्वाः क्रियाः अस्याः उपरि निर्भराः अस्ति इति कारणात् अहं धेनुं न दास्यामि।
अधोमूलाः क्रियाः सर्वाः.
अधोमूला क्रिया.
Correct. So the caption I felt of the 53rd sarga is Gorakshak, Adi Gorakshak, the first Gorakshak. Vasishtha is the first Gorakshak for us, or the role model for taking care of our cows no matter what. And if we believe that it is everything for us, then we will take care of it. So we'll start the next sarga today. अथ चतुःपञ्चाशः सर्गः कामधेनुं वसिष्ठोऽपि यदा न त्यजते मुनिः
यदा न त्यजते मुनिः
तदास्य शबलां राम
तदास्य शबलां राम
विश्वामित्रोऽन्वकर्षत.
विश्वामित्रोऽन्वकर्षत.
So we saw last time that there was a big negotiation deal that took place between that Viśwāmitra tried to offer so many things to Vasishtha to trade, to take away Śabalā. When finally Vasishtha said, no matter what, it is everything for me, and no matter what, I shall not give. So Kamadhenum Vasishtha api yada na tyajate. Munihi Vasishtha yada na tyajate. Tyajati is what normally we know, but tyajate is also another Atmanepadi form used. So when Munihi Vasishtha Kamadhenum, the object, Dvitiya Vibhakti, Kamadhenum na tyajate, when he is not leaving or let go the Kamadhenu, tada, then Shabalam Rama, O Rama, asya Shabalam Viśwāmitra anvakarshata. Asya is Vasishthasya. So then Viśwāmitra kidnapped. Anvakarshata is a sort of grab and take away. Kidnap in a way, or what is that called? Seize and take away. So something like that, yeah? Right? By force or without.
Confiscate.
Confiscated. Confiscated, correct. So Viśwāmitra confiscated the Śabalā of Vasishtha, asya Viśwāmitrasya, Vasishthasya Śabalam Viśwāmitra anvakarshata. He then said, okay, I'm taking it out now. Now I think negotiation is not going anywhere. Then the next step is to dandopaya. I'll take away. Niyamana tu Śabalā Rama. Niyamana tu Śabalā.
Niyamana tu Śabalā Rama.
Rama Rajñā Mahatmana.
Rama Rajñā Mahatmana.
Dukkhita Chintayamasa.
Dukkhita Chintayamasa.
Rudanti Shokakarshita.
Rudanti Shokakarshita.
So see the beauty of the poetry, right? Anvakarshata. Karshana is attract. Attract by yourself or through force, whatever. But basically bring the other body near you. Anu Akarshata. That means he took it and is dragging it behind him. Anu is to follow, right? So you make it follow you. That is Anvakarshata. So here, Dukkhita. Dukkhita is Dukkhena Yasti. Dukkhena Trasta Dukkhita. So one who is suffering. The suffering and Niyamana, being led away, being taken away. Suffering, Niyamana, Śabalā, and Rudanti, crying also. You see cows crying, they also get, tears along their eyes. So Rudanti, crying, such Śabalā, Shokakarshita. She was also attracted by what? Shoka. So Karshana is to bring. So from that only comes the word Krishna. One who attracts everyone is Krishna. And so the color also is the same. Black, attracts everything, right? Meaning black sucks everything. No color is visible in black after that. So Krishna Varnam. And Krishna by qualities also that he is attractive. And so Krishna. So Karshita. Shoka Karshita. Shoka is tragedy or pain. Shoka Karshita. Rudanti. Dukkhita. Niyamana. So Niyamana is led away by who? Rajñā, by the king. Mahatmana, meaning by that great king Viśwāmitra, that she is led by. She is now Shoka Karshita. O Rama. Shatananda is continuing the story. Parityakta Vasishtena.
Parityakta Vasishtena.
Kimaham Sumahatmana.
Kimaham Sumahatmana.
Yaham Raja Bhatair Dina.
याहं राजभटैर्दीना
ह्रियेयं भृशदुःखिता.
ह्रियेयं वृषदुःखितः
Dukkita.
sorry.
So now she is thinking in herself. Kim aham vasishtena sumahatmana parityakta? What? Am I let go? Am I denied? Am I ignored by that great Mahatma Vasishtha? Vasishtena sumahatmana kim aham parityakta? Parityakta, tyakta is left. Tyajate, one who is tyajate, the object of tyajate is tyakta. So one who was given away is the given away one. So tyajate is to give away, tyakta is the one who is given away. So the given away, am I given away? Am I let go? What? By that great Mahatma Vasishtha, I thought he will protect me. Now this Viśwāmitra is dragging me by force and he is not doing anything. Ya aham rajabhatair dina. Aham dina. Dina is, pitiful. This, I'm so, aham dina. I'm pitiful. Rajabhataihi. Rajabhatas are the army guys, for the security forces, etc. of the Raja, Rajabhatas, the police officers or whatever. What is that term? Attendants of Raja, or the force, his army guys, let us say. Rajabhataihi Hriya. Hriya is Hrihi. Hri is the sort of a feeling of guilty, a feeling of shy, a feeling of helplessness, right? So that is Hri. When you are doing something or when you end up in something that you don't want to do, typically used as Hri is used for, hey, get that feeling when you are doing something wrong. So let's say if somebody is doing an adharma karya, he should, first thing, somewhere in his heart, deep in his heart, somewhere at least, he or she will know that Hri feeling, Lajja. Lajja and Hri are not exactly synonyms, but related. Hri is when you are feeling, he is something that you feel when you do adharmic work. Lajja is when you are feeling at an ego level. At an individual level, you are feeling, whether you are right or wrong, if you felt ashamed, then it is Lajja. But because you are doing something wrong and consciously you feel that is Hri. So I'm being dragged away now. So I am Hriya. I am occupied by Hri. Is Hriya. Iyam Hriya. Bhrushadukhita. Bhrusham is heavily, sorrowful, heavily crying śabalā. Because, see, in Telugu there is a saying that, what is it? Something like, it is not because she hurt me, but because somebody else pointed it to me that I am now more hurt. So likewise, now śabalā is more hurt, not just because these Viśwāmitra's guys are taking her away, but because I had so much expectation on Vasishtha that he will do something for me and he's not taking care of me. So he's more hurt. Bhrusha, more heavily, dukhita, bhrusha dukhita. Kim mayapa kritam tasya?
Kim mayapa kritam tasya?
Maharsher bhavitatmanaha.
Maharsher bhavitatmanaha.
Yanmam anagasam bhaktam.
Yanmam anagasam bhaktam.
Ishtam tyajati dharmikaha.
Ishtam tyajati dharmikaha.
Ishtam tyajati dharmikaha. So she is again continuing to still find why is Vasishta not taking care of me. Maya kim apakritam. Kritam is what was done by me. Maya kritam, done by me. Kim. Apakritam is what was wrong done by me. That he is ignoring me. She's thinking, did I not serve properly? Did I do any of my jobs incomplete manner or unsatisfactorily? Why is he leaving me? Kim maya apakritam tasya maharshehe bhavitatmanaha. For that great Maharshi, who is a bhavitatmanaha. Bhavita is one who is able to, one who has some bhava. Bhava is feelings. One who has feelings will generally not do incorrect things. Such a bhavitatmanaha Maharshihi, what wrong have I done to him? That yat mam anagasam. Anagasam is madhyana vishayibhuta aparadharahitam. So aparadharahita, jnana vishayibhuta. I mean, consciously, what have I done wrong? Unconsciously, if I have done, okay, I can understand. But consciously, what have I done wrong? Knowing very well. I have not done anything wrong as far as I know. That is termed as anagasa. So anagasam. Anagasam is mat jnana vishayi bhuta aparadharahitam. So what wrong have I done consciously? Kim maya apakrutam. Otherwise, unconsciously also, whatever, whether consciously or unconsciously, some mistake done is apakritam. Consciously, if I have done wrong, is anagasam. What have I done wrong? That bhaktam ishtam. I have been the most favorite of Vasishta in the entire ashrama. So such a person is ishta. One who is ichha of me is ishta. So ishtam bhaktam. And not only that, not only am I his favorite, but I am also his devotee. I am at his service. I am bhakta. I do all his services. I take care of him. Such me, how is he, and he's a dharmika, how is he able to tyajati? How is he able to leave me? Let me go. Not reacting, not responding. How is he just irresponsive? Nirdraya.
Nirdraya.
There's a typo there. Punah ityanena prakarena chintayitva punah nishvasya nirdraya. What is it? I don't have the book with me. If anyone has the book, just check what is the first word here.
Nirdhuya.
Nirdhuya. Nirdhuya. Correct. So this is too much of a samyuktakshara. There's a dha below it, and then there is a u. So I could not read it properly. Nirdhuyatam stada bhrityan.
Nirdhuyatam stada bhrityan.
Shatasha satrusudana.
Shatasha satrusudana.
Jagamanila vegena.
Jagamanila vegena.
Padamulam mahatmanaha.
Padamulam mahatmanaha.
So she got so much hurt that when somebody is very much hurt, they get to respond and to go, when they're being indignated, especially when you are indignated, you get so much of energy that you can break anything and go and do something very radical and very unexpected. So nirdhuya, she washed away, which means she broke away from all the leashes, ropes, etc., that all these guys had around her and dragging her. She could just break all of them. Nirdhuya tan. Tan is all of them whom, all those, guards of Viśwāmitra who were dragging her. Tan bhrutyan, those servants, those workers of Viśwāmitra. Shatashaha, hundreds of them. She could just drag herself away and force herself away through them and run towards Mahatmanaha Padamulam. She has reached the the feet of Mahatma Vasishtha, Jagama, she ran away. Anila Vegena, Anila is
Vayu.
Vayu.
Vayu. Anila is Vayu. So with wind speed, with the speed of wind, boom, she ran away from all of them with so much of energy and force, especially because how can you leave me, Vasishtha? So when you are in that fury, you get so much of energy that she broke herself out of all the shackles of all the workers, guards of Viśwāmitra, and ran with the wind speed to the feet of Mahatma Vasishtha. O Shatrusudana, O killer of the foes, Shatananda is addressing Rama and telling the story. śabalā sā rudanti ca
Śabalā sā rudanti ca
kroshanti chedam abravīt
kroshanti chedam abravīt
vasishthasyagrata sthitva
vasishthasyagrata sthitva
meghadundubhiravini.
meghadundubhiravini.
So, śabalā, sā rudanti śabalā, that crying śabalā, kroshanti with krosha. Krosha is that fury or that anger, not anger, but that reactive fiery force that you have. That is krosha. When you think you are you're cheated, when you think you are insulted, when you think you are
Akrosha.
From there comes is samantat. Is the upasarga. Krosha is the root there. So kroshanti. So with that krosha feeling, rudanti, at the same time crying. So when you are crying is when, in fact, that's what I say. When anybody who is helpless cries, and when, let us say, when somebody has shouted it, when somebody has shouted and the other person who is crying, the spirit of both these charyas, both these actions is the same. When one who is shouting without any mercy, and the recipient who is crying, being helpless, typically let's say between husband and wife or whoever, right? Such people. Crying also is equally intense feeling as this shouting with anger. Both of them are same. Just that one feels confident that he is dominant, the other one is helpless, but the intensity of the feeling is the same. So crying, so kroshanti, rudanti, both go together. When you cry, it is because you have so much of krosha in you, but you are not able to react the same way as he's acting. That is when you cry. But otherwise, the intensity of the feeling is the same. So kroshanti, rudanti, sa sabala, cha idam abravīt. Cha for rudanti and kroshanti. Cha idam abravīt. She said this. Vasishthasya agrataha, in front of Vasishtha. Sthitva, standing in front of Vasishtha. In what way, in what voice did she say? Meghadundubhiravini. Most of us know, right? Ravana name. Why is he given that name Ravana? Because when he was born is one thing, and the other one is when he hurt his hand trying to raise the Kailasha Parvata, or any other time also. If he is defeated or if he is losing, the cry he makes, Ravana, is Ravanam, is the sound of cry. So one who does that sound, one whose sound is that, is Ravana. Strilinga is Ravini. So Megha Dundubhi Ravini, the sounds of Megha Garjana and Dundubhi, all that heavy sounds which are used in wartime, right? So with so much of noise, with so much of loud voice, did she say the following, standing in front of Vasishtha. both crying and with that indignant fury. What did she say? Bhagavan kim parityakta
Bhagavan kim parityakta
tvayaham brahmanas suta
tvayaham brahmanas suta
yasmad rajabhrata mam hi
yasmad rajabhritam mam hi
nayante tvat sakashatah.
nayante tvat sakashatah.
Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan Vasishtha, oh Bhagavan Vasishtha. Bhagavan is the Prathama Vibhakti. Its addressing Sambodhana Vibhakti will be Bhagavan. Just as Bhavan is the Prathama Vibhakti, Bhavan is this addresser, Sambodhana. So Bhagavan, Kim Tvaya Aham Parityakta, whatever she was in the first, second and third shlokas that she was thinking in herself, thinking within herself, Kim Aham Parityakta, now she is saying that out, saying it loud in front of Vasishtha. Bhagavan Kim Tvaya Aham Parityakta, what am I given away by you, left by you, let go by you? Brahmanaha Suta, O son of Brahma. Brahma, that Shashti, apostrophe S will become Brahmanaha. Brahmahas is Brahmanaha. Brahmanaha Suta, O son of Brahma. Yasmat Rajabhrataha mam hi nayante. See, whereas all these Rajabhritas, all the Raja workers, Raja servants, Raja guards are taking me away, nayante, they are taking me away. Tvat sakashataha. Tvat is from your, sakasha from your, kasha is space, from your area, from your purview. They are taking me away from your campus. And you seem to be letting me go. Kimaham parityakta yasmat rajabhrataha mam tvat sakashataha nayante. They are taking me away from your place, from your campus, and you don't care. You don't seem to care. Kimaham tvaya parityakta means you don't seem to care. What? You don't seem to care. You let me go. Eva muktastu brahmarshihi.
Eva muktastu
Eva
brahmarshihi.
muktastu brahmarshihi.
Idam vachanam abravit.
Idam
vachanam
vachanam abravit.
Shoka santapta hridayam.
Shoka santapta hrudayam.
Swasaramiva dukkhitam.
Swasaradiva dukkitam.
Don't read, listen and say. Listen and say. Swasaramiva dukkhitam.
Swasaramiva dukkitam.
So, Swasa is daughter. Sister. Swasa is sister. So, one who is like sister, Swasa iva bhagini sadrishim. Swasaram, that's a Dvitiya Vibhakti will become Swasaram. So Swasaram iva, one who is like sister. So addressing śabalā, who is Dukkhita, Shoka Santapta Hridaya, whose heart is filled with that turmoil, that agony, that agonized sister like śabalā, who has been serving him and helping him, such Dukkhitam and painful one. Brahmarshihi idam vachanam abravit. He responded back with this statement or with this speech. Natvam tyajami śabalē.
Natvam tejami śabalē.
Napi me pakritam tvaya.
Napi me pakritam tvaya.
Eshatvam nayate raja.
Eshatvam nayate raja.
Balan matto mahabalaha.
Balan matto mahabalaha.
So, natvam tyajami śabalē. O śabalā, I by myself shall not leave you. Nat tyajami śabalē. Napi me apakritam tvaya. You thought, have you done anything wrong? Me, for me, apakritam, nothing wrong. Tvaya kritam, nothing wrong done by you for me. Na api, neither. Neither shall I leave you, nor have you done anything wrong for me. Eshaha mahabalaha raja Balat mattaha. He is Mahabalaha. Of course, he is a strong fellow. And Balat mattaha. With that strength, he is intoxicated. He is arrogant with that strength. Balat mattaha. Balan mattaha Mahabalaha Raja Eshaha Tvam Nayate. He is taking you away. And then what? Nahi tulyam balam mahyam.
Nahi tulyam balam mahyam.
Raja tvadya visheshataha.
Raja twadya visheshataha.
Bali Raja kshatriyascha.
Bali Raja kshatriyascha.
Pruthivyah patirevacha.
Prithivyaha patirevacha.
So he's continuing because he's a dharma atma, right? See, good people don't, good at heart, sattvic people, they don't immediately respond. They will try to excuse. They will try to see, is it correct to do by me? What does dharma say? In what role is he? In what role am I? What is his dharma? What is my dharma? He's Raja. He's Kshatriya. Right? So he's saying, Nahi tulyam balam mahyam. I don't seem to have the strength like him. He is a very Mahabalaha and Balat mattaha. I'm not like that. He's saying, Nahi tulyam balam mahyam. And he's saying, Visheshataha, especially Visheshataha. Vishesha is speciality. Visheshataha, especially to Adya Raja. He's today, especially at this moment, he's king. Bali, and he's a Balavan. He's strong, Bali, Raja. And Kshatriyascha, he's also supposed to be protecting, even with any wounds, even with any amount of wounds, he's a protector. So he's a protector also. He's the king, he's protector, and he's strong. And Prithivyaha Patirihi Evacha. He's also the Lord of the entire earth, meaning of the entire, all the nation, all the world, entire world. He's the leader, or he's the Lord of the world. And so, I cannot just go and fight with him. Essentially, is kind of what he's responding. Iyam akshauhini purna.
Iyam akshauhini purna.
Savajiratha Sankula.
Savajiratha Sankula.
Ratha Sankula. Savajiratha Sankula. Hastidhvaja Samakirna.
Hastidhvaja Samakirna.
Tenasau Balavattaraha.
Tenasau Balavattaraha.
And he's trying to justify, substantiate his assessment further. Because he's saying, Iyam Purna Akshauhini. If you remember in the very Prathama Sarga when we were doing, when that Akshauhini term came, Balam came, not in the Prathama Sarga, sorry, during in the Sarga of Viśwāmitra's ancestors. That Akshauhini term came, and we tried to count the, multiply and count the size of the various groups of army. Gana, which is 21, and then, and so on. When it goes, Akshauhini would come to about 180,000 or something like that. It's a huge number. So Akshauhini, Iyam Akshauhini Purna, his forces seem like a complete Akshauhini. And Sa Vaji Ratha Sankula. Vaji is horse, Vajipeya, right? Ashwa, we saw those terms also. How many synonyms were there for horse? But each name is with a different purpose. So Vaji. Sa Vaji Ratha Sankula. Along with horses and chariots, along with horses, he has so many of them, that Akshauhini. And Hasti Dhvaja Samakirna, one with their Hasti Dhvajam, their Dhvaja has the elephant on it, and also that huge several elephants that he has. Hastidvaja samakirna, surrounded by, filled with these elephants with the dhvajas on them. Tena asau balavattaraha. Previously he said Mahabalaha, Bali. Now he is saying Balavat Taraha. He is more Balavan with all these. By himself, if he is Balavan, with all these forces, he is more Balavan. Balavat Taraha. Taraha is the relative degree. Tamaha is the superlative degree. Taraha, Adhika Taraha, Adhika Tamaha. Adhikaha, Adhika Taraha, Adhika Tamaha. More, Adhika is more itself. But let's say Sundaraha, Sundarataraha, Sundaratamaha. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. So, Tena, with all this, Asau, Asavadityo Brahma, we say. Asau means that, or he. One at for other Shabdasya. So, Asau Balavattaraha, he is lot more strong. He is more stronger now with all these forces. Eva mukta vasishtena pratyuvacha vinitavat vachanam vachanajnasa brahmarshi matula prabham. So eva mukta, there's two sentences that Vasishtha replied, saying he is first of all king, he is protector, he is the lord of the entire world. He has already conquered in the entire world. He has visited the entire world. And so such a Raja, one who is in that Raja position, I should not be fighting, especially because he is more Balavan with all these forces of Akshauhini, in the strength Akshauhini platoons, and the chariots with horses and elephants with the dhvajas. So he's a lot more stronger. I should not be fighting, is essentially what he hinted, he implied. He didn't say I should not be fighting, but he hinted it. So eva mukta, thus replied by viśwāmitra, thus heard by śabalā, eva mukta, vasishtena, replied by Vasishtha, pratyuvacha, she responded back, she replied back, vinitavat, with led by his argument. Vinayanvita is vinita. But vinayam is one quality which is a result of visheshanayanam. In fact, we did some discussion on this etymology of this with my brother-in-law in Los Angeles. So he one day asked me a great shloka of Kalidasa from Raghuvamsha. Let me see if I can recollect that. I don't recollect, but the exact shloka, but the words in it are Vidya Vinaya Vishesharadhanat. Does anyone remember that shloka? Vidya Vinayat Vishesharadhanat. Let's take that shloka, because we should understand the language and our culture, because our language is nothing but our culture, our thought process. So give me a minute at the most. Huh?
Smarami.
Sutau Lakshmana Shatrughnau Sumit. Let's all say this so that you can also, at least, even if you remember some words. Sutau Lakshmana Shatrughnau.
Sutau Lakshmana Shatrughnau.
Everyone can say. Sumitra Sushuve Yamau.
Sumitra Sushuve
Yamau.
Samyagaradhita Vidya.
Samyagaradhita Vidya.
Prabodha Vinaya Viva.
Prabodha Vinaya Viva.
Prabodha Vinaya Viva.
Prabodha Vinaya Viva.
So the shloka is, if you just take literal meaning of the shloka, what does it say? Sushuve. Sushuve is delivered. Prasavam kritavati. Savam is Sushuve. Yamau, twins. Who are they? Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Sutau, two sons. Sumitra. So Sumitra, Lakshmana Shatrughnau, Yamau, Sutau, Sushuve. That's the first sentence there. Sumitra delivered twins by name Lakshmana and Shatrughna, who are her sons. Now, Upama Kalidasasya, they say, right? Kalidasa is meant for giving similes. For any event, he gives another simile, another beautiful simile. What is the simile there? Samyag Aradhita Vidya Prabodha Vinayau Iva. Iva is like. So like is the simile there. So like, just as Samyag Aradhita Vidya, if well, I mean, literally, if well worshipped, Aradhita is worshipped. But if Vidya is worshipped, what does it mean? If well studied, if properly, absolutely, thoroughly studied subject, what will it give? Prabodha Vinaya. Prabodha Vinaya. Prabodha is special understanding. Bodha is understanding. Prabodha, Prakrishta Bodha, thorough understanding. So if somebody studied a subject very well, what are the two results that he gets? What is that knowledge? What does that effort of thorough studying give rise to? Is two. One, thorough understanding. Right? So Prabodha. Second one is Vinaya. Prabodha Vinayau Iva. Prabodha Vinaya Viva. Samyagaradhita Vidya. Prabodha Vinaya Iva. Sutau Lakshmana Shatrughnau. Sumitra Sushuve Yamau. That is the shloka there. But if we now take he took this word, the shloka, and he gave his interpretation, and I said, and I had to correct it. And so finally, both of us together, we arrived at the meaning of Vinaya. Normally, when we hear the word Vinaya, in all our Indian languages, first thing that we understand is that Vinaya means what? Humility, right? Vinaya is humility, right? Is there any other better word for Vinaya that we all know? Okay, so Vinayam. And there is Subhashitam also. Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Vinayat Patrata. Patratvat Dhanam. Dhanat Sukham. Tata, whatever like that, right? There is one Subhashitam. So Vinayam, Vidya Dadati Vinayam also. So we all think Vidya gives Vinayam means if somebody is well educated, he is humble, he is not arrogant, is the thing that we understand there. But that is the byproduct. That is the unintended byproduct. The actual intended result that has to come out of study is Naya. Naya is the dhatu there. Naya is Nayati. When we saw, right? Mam Nayate, Nayante, Rajabhuta Hamam, she says. Naya is to lead, to take away, to lead. Vi is the upasarga there. Vishesha Nayanam. Upanayanam also we say. Nayanam is to lead. Lead upa, towards or near. Upanayanam is to take you near what? Near tat, that. Near that Brahma. Near that Brahma. So likewise here, Vinayana. Vinaya is Vishesha Naya. So if you have studied thoroughly, then you get good understanding. Prabodha. And that understanding will then also have a twin with it, which is Vishesha Naya. Properly leading this understanding, properly leading it to do what? To apply it. It should not be Pustakastat Ya Vidya Parahastakatam Dhanam Karyakale Samprapte Nasa Vidya Natad Dhanam. There is a Subhashidam, right? So if it is bookish knowledge, is of no use. Pure technical bookish knowledge is of no use. if you have studied it well, then you have understood it so well that immediate effect of it, immediate fruit, or the twin fruit of that thorough understanding is proper application, proper leading of that understanding towards applying it properly in the right way, right? And if one is able to do that successfully, meaning if he is able to lead his understanding for a proper application of that understanding, then the result is he seems like a good guy. So we say Vinaya means good or humble. Otherwise, it is Rakshasatvam. A Rakshasa also studies Vedas. A Rakshasa also does tapas. But he does it to acquire, his result is not Vinaya. It's also Vinaya there, but there V is Vikrutanaya. Vikrutanaya. But for a proper good student, his Naya, V, Upasarga there is Viseshanaya. So the special, proper, appropriate, absolute application of his understanding is Vinaya. Okay, so that, anyways, let me hear you all. Did you understand what I'm trying to say here? Why I took this sloka and Vinaya, what does it mean? What is the etymology? How is that arrived at? Are we all online? I don't see anyone responding. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
one doubt, Bhogaji.
Ah.
Why is that Lakshmana Shatrughna that simile, and what is the comparison there?
That is the
I didn't
beauty.
get it.
So, correct. That is the beauty. So, the simile here is Samyak Aradhita Vidya. Who is the corresponding counterpart there? Sumitra. Sumitra is such a well-educated, patient, great lady, mother, wife, that she can produce, like Prabodha and Vinaya, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. That is what she is trying to say. Kalidasa is trying to say. Because if you see Sumitra's, even in Valmiki Ramayana, beautiful statement Sumitra makes, right? When Rama is asked by Kaikeyi to leave, saying, your father has asked. Dasharatha cannot say that, but she says on his behalf that he has asked you to leave now. And so then he goes to each mother and takes their permission to leave. So then Sumitra says, Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. What is it? She tells to Lakshmana, and when Lakshmana leaves, goes to Sumitra and says, I'm also going with Rama. Then she tells Lakshmana, what does it say? Ramam Janakam Vidhi.
Mam Vidhi.
Mam Vidhi Janakatma. Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi Gachatata Yatha Sukham. But she starts with
Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi, no?
Ramam Janakam Vidhi. Sitam Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi.
Yeah, Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi.
Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi Gachatata Yatha Sukham. That is the instruction she gives to his son Lakshmana when he is able to leave. And so Kalidasa understood that shloka so well that what a mother she is. Oh my God, how educated she is. How educated as in not degrees. I mean, understanding of the world, of the relationships, of the requirements, and applying it also at the appropriate time. That she says, Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi. All these days, because you are in the home, as soon as you get up in the morning, you do your Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, and then Samudra Vasane Devi, and then next thing you would go and touch your parents' feet. So you would go and touch your father's feet. But once you said now you want to go with your brother, where is your father going to be? So Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi. Vidhi is no. I mean, no is an ordinary simple word in English, but understand and implement and know, be aware of Rama as Dasharatha, Rama as your brother. Mam vidhi Janakatmajam. And who is your mother? Janakatmaja, Sita. May you know Sita as me. Treat Sita as mother, Sumitra. Treat Rama as your father, Dasharatha. And Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. Atavi is forest. You are all going to the forest. So treat Atavi as Ayodhya. Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. Think and enjoy that forest itself as this great city, Ayodhya. Gacha Tata, Tata, O son, O beloved son, Gacha, leave. Yatha Sukham, live very happily. Don't worry. There might be pains, but don't worry. You have your father like brother Rama. You have your mother like sister-in-law Sita. And Ayodhya like forest. Enjoy, son. That is the positivity she gave. That shloka probably, I am thinking, I mean, I do not know, I have not read any bhashya or anybody else's commentary, but my understanding is this. This shloka is what probably Kalidasa was mesmerized, is wow, awestruck, that when he wrote Raghuvamsham, he has elevated Sumitra to that stature of Samyak Aradhita Vidya. One, I mean, how great would she have been as equivalent to a thoroughly, completely educated woman, that education which gives the fruit of proper understanding and the ability to lead that understanding to apply properly. That she gave such two great sons, Lakshmana and Shatrughna, who never cared, in spite of all their abilities, who never cared that, hey, where is my kingdom? What is my share of the property? They never cared. Both of them were in the service of the two brothers. Lakshmana, he said, my aim, my life is, the mission of my life is to serve you, Rama. And Shatrughna said, mission of my life is to serve you, Bharata. And how great that mother should be, who has produced such wonderful sons. Only somebody equivalent to Samyak Aradhita Vidya can produce such Prabodha, Vinaya like sons, Sumitra, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Was it too much of a digression? Was it good, useful?
Bogaji, I heard in an Upanyasam that, just as what you said, where Lakshmana is always serving Ram and Shatrughna is always serving Bharata, they talked about how Lakshmana is always serving the Bhagavan and Shatrughna is serving the Bhagavata. And Bharat being the best Bhagavata because Lakshman was basically doing what he thought he should be doing, serving Ram, but Bharat was doing what Ram was asking him to do. So he's a true Bhagavata that way, and Shatrughna is serving that Bhagavata. So the twins Sumitra produced were basically leading examples of how one should be serve the Bhagavan, serve the Bhagavata. That was one of the interpretations I heard on in an Upanyasam.
Very great, correct. That's also another great, yes, spiritual.
Very nice way of thinking, Bogaji.
Correct.
Never occurred, no?
Yeah, I heard that before, that one is serving Bhagavan, the other one is serving Bhagavata. And that's why we say, right, and especially I, because I don't know, when I see people who go to temples, who meet acharyas, who serve acharyas so much, I feel guilty sometimes. Oh my God, at the heart of heart, when I introspect myself, I know I'm also doing similar spirited, same spirit work, but in the different field. But I feel, oh, let me touch their feet. Let me at least do pranam to them. Then, because then God will be pleased. Rama says, right, or Bhagavan says always, Krishna especially says, if my bhaktas are taken care of well, I'm happy. You don't have to take care of me. You don't have to come and take care of me. You take care of my bhaktas, I'm happy. That is their instruction, both Rama, Krishna, and Bhagavan in general. And so, yeah, serving Bhagavata is like serving Bhagavan himself. Correct. Very good point, Samyaji. So anyway, why did we get there?
So everything is dhatu moolam, right? So right, Vinita, Vinaya. So the dhatu is ni there.
Ni, yeah. Ni.
And the same, and so from the same dhatu, I think Nayanam, the netram that we see Nayanam, which leads us.
Yes. Because this is the one which is leading us into the world.
Yeah.
As long as it is open, it is leading us, it is taking us away like a chariot. Boom, boom, it goes with the speed. The mind is the chariot, and these are the horses. Takes away.
Amazing, Mahodaya. Like it never just occurred to me that Vinaya might also be related to the dhatu ni, which is the Nayati. It's amazing to know. Everything is dhatu moolam. Every single word in Sanskritam has a deep connection to the moola dhatu, and from which there are several words that we use and we do not know how the connections are leading to the dhatu. Such a great thought.
Correct. So Vinaya, Vishesha Nayanam. So what does Vidya give is that Vishesha Nayanam. So here Vinitavat. Vat is like Iva, Vat are similar suffixes. So Vinitavat means one who is able to lead you especially lead you in a proper way. So śabalā now is responding back to Vasishtha, who was sort of answering, being helpless. See, he's Raja, he's a very powerful fellow, he's a strong fellow. I think I cannot and I should not fight. Kind of sort of helpless, restrained, constrained position that Vasishtha set himself up into to lead him in the proper direction. That is the most important. That is the reason I took this entire digression, a sidebar of that shloka from Raghuvamsha and the understanding of Vinaya word to say. So here Vinitavat is not being humble. She is leading, she's opening the thought of Vasishtha to respond properly to, even if he is a Raja, if he's done wrong, you have to respond. Essentially, I mean, next slokas when we read, we are very late with this digression, but let's try to complete quickly. So Vinitavat, she is now leading, like she is leading, as if she is leading, is Vinitavat. Vinitava mukta.
Vinitavat is the adjective of vachanam here in this context, right? Vinitavat vachanam abravit.
Vinitavat vachanam abravit. So she led, she replied in a way that is leading Vasishtha to better thought, to think properly, to better thought. She is leading Vasishtha now. Her speech is leading. Her answer is leading. So Brahmarshim Atula Prabham Sa Vachanagnya Vachanam Vinitavat Vachanam Abravit. Where is Abravit? Eva Mukta Vasishtena Pratyuvacha. Pratyuvacha. She responded, she replied back. So she replied back to the Atula Prabha, one whose aura is uncomparable. Such an Atula Prabha, Brahmarshi. Unto him, she has responded with a vachanam, with a sentence or with a speech or with a statement, which is going to lead him in this proper special direction. Vinitavat vachanam. What is now she saying? Nabalam kshatriyasyahuhu.
Nabalam kshatriyasyahuhu.
Brahmano balavattaraha.
Brahmano balavattaraha.
Brahman brahmabalam divyam.
Brahman brahmabalam divyam.
Kshatrattu balavattaram.
Kshatrattu balavattaram.
So this is why that I said vinitavat, vinayam, vinitavat, naya, vinita, leading. So her speech is now going to lead Vasishtha to the next action. To lead him is vinayam. Visesha nayanam, vinitavati, vinitavat. So what is she saying? Kshatriyasya na balam ahuhu. Kshatriyasya balam brahmanaha balavattaraha. Kshatriyasya balam na ahuhu. Kshatriyasya balam na. What are you saying, Vasishtha? You are saying he's a Kshatriya, he's a Mahabalaha, Mahabali, Balat Mattaha, Prithivehe Patihi, Prithivyaha Patihi, all those terms you said. What are you talking? Na balam Kshatriyasya. Kshatriya's strength is not sufficient or is incomplete. Brahmanaha balavattaraha. Brahmana is more stronger. Brahmana again has not born in the caste or whatever, but one who has acquired that Brahma Jnanam is a Brahmana, or one who is of Brahma is Brahmana, essentially. Is a Shashti Vibhakti there. Brahma apostrophe S is Brahmana. Brahmanaha. So Brahmanaha balavattaraha. Brahmana is the stronger one. Brahman, oh Brahman. Brahma balam divyam. Brahma balam means balam of a Brahma. And so of his students, of his pursuants, called Brahmanas, their balam, Brahma balam divyam, kshatrat tu balavat taram. Kshatrat, more than of Kshatriya, or in comparison to Kshatriyas, Kshatrabalam, Kshatrabalat, Brahmabalam, Divyam, Balavat Taram is more stronger. Brahmabalam is a lot more stronger than Kshatrabalam. Don't you know that? How did you forget it? Is kind of what śabalā is now leading Vasishtha to bring out to bring out all the energies of Vasishtha, all the Rajasic energies out of Vasishtha. Aprameya balam tubhyam.
Aprameya balam tubhyam.
Natvaya balavattaraha.
Natvaya balavattaraha.
Viśwāmitro mahaviryaha.
Viśwāmitro mahaviryaha.
Tejas tava durasadam.
Tejas tava durasadam.
So she is continuing. Aprameyam balam tubhyam. For you, there is aprameya bala, unmeasurable strength. Natvaya balavattaraha, not stronger than you. Viśwāmitraha. Viśwāmitraha tvaya na balavattaraha. Mahaviryaha, Mahaviryaha, Tejaha, Mahaviryaha, Viśwāmitraha, na tvaya balavattaraha. He is not any stronger than you. Tava durasadam. Tejaha tava durasadam. Your Tejaha is durasadam. Durasadam is not even reachable. Prasadam, asadam, sada, sadanam, right, is, let's say, abode, campus, or a certain area around you. Durasadam, for somebody to enter it is difficult. So dukkhena asadam durasadam. So for him to even come near your strength, it is tough for him. What are you talking? Is what she is trying to respond back. And see the difference. Now this sentence, this vakyam, sloka, is an important sloka for us, because everywhere in the society, in the world, even when we go and talk good things, let's say the cow go raksha only, we go and talk, let's go, let's join the protest, or come, let's join the service, or come, let's start a new goshala. Immediately say, oh, you are doing great job, sir. You are doing great job. Please continue. Not that I will come. You are doing great job. You continue. I don't want to be a participant. That is the ordinary level of people. But with the lesson to be learned from śabalā is this. What is she saying? You are so great. You are the Brahma Balam Divyam Kshatrat Brahma Balavattaram. Such strength you have, Aprameya Balam Tubhyam. In spite of that, what is she saying? So I am yours. That means I also should be having that much of strength. Niyungshva Mam Mahateja. Quickly, we are running late. Okay.
Ningshvamam Mahateja. Mahatejaha.
Tvad Brahma Bala Sambhrutam.
Tvad Brahma Bala Sambhrutam.
Tasya Darpa Balam Yattat.
Tasya Darpa Balam Yattat.
Nashayami Duratmanaha.
Nashayami Duratmanaha.
So she is saying, okay, you go and fight. No, she is not saying that. Niyungshva, appoint me, deploy me. Niyungshva mam, me. Deploy me, employ me for that task. You don't have to worry. You are such a great one. I am part of you. I am part of your ashrama. I must be having equivalent or some good strength a part of it. Right? Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamadachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva avasishyate. Whether you take away or add more, strength doesn't reduce. Right? If I am part of you, I also have the same strength like you. That's the confidence she has. And so she's saying, deploy me. Niyungshva mam mahatejaha. Tvat brahma bala sambhrutam. I am, and deploy me with the strength of the Brahma bala. Sambhrutam. Bhrutam is full, born by. B-O-R-N-E. Bear. Born. Bhr. Bear. That's the root word even for English also. Bhru is the dhatu. Bear is the word coming from it. So, bhrutam, born by, samyak bhrutam, properly born by, properly held by, Brahma bala sambhrutam, properly held by your Brahma bala, mam, mahatejaha, nikshva, please deploy me with your strength, I shall go and fight them. Tasya darpa balam, his arrogant strength. His that arrogant strength, yat, whatever is his arrogant strength, whatever is yat tasya darpa balam, whatever is his arrogant strength, duratmanaha, of that ill-minded fellow, nashayami, I shall destroy that. You just give me your balam, I'll go and fight. Is her response. So you see the difference, right? You would have heard when we go as volunteers, you would have heard, oh, aap acha kaam karte hai, you please go and do. Please continue with that work. Arey, you come and join, no, if you are inspired by that work. No, you go. Versus śabalā, who is saying, give me that strength, give me that inspiration. How are you able to do so well? Give me that strength. I shall also join and take up some activity and do the work. Right? That volunteering spirit is what we learn from here. Niyungshvamam mahatejaha tvad brahma balasambhrutam tasya darpa balam yat tad nashayami duratmanaha. Ityuktastutaya Rama.
Ityuktastutaya Rama.
Vasishtastu mahayashaha.
Vasishtastu mahayashaha.
Sujasveti tado vacha.
Tujasveti tado vacha.
Balam parabalarujam.
Balam parabalarujam.
So ityuktaha, thus heard in a way. Iti uktaha, I mean, there you cannot say that in English. There is no such word. Uditavan is he has said. If I heard it, I am uktaha. So what do we say? Thus told by? I mean, there is no way to say that in English. So much of passive sentences, words are not there. So having heard that
English
speech,
becomes inadequate.
Inadequate, yeah. Uktaha, patitaha, you cannot say those words in English. So yeah, having heard śabalā's inspiration, motivation, speech. Then Mahayashaha Vasishtha, he said, what? Srujasva. He said, oh, okay, good. Good, you're volunteering. Now, Srujasva, you create. What? Balam. You create that strength. What kind of strength? Parabala Rujam. Rujam is one which, Ruja is one which brings the roga. One which diseases the parabala. One diseases. Or diseases also. One which lowers the strength of the others. Parabalarujam balam srujasva iti tada uvacha Mahayasha. He responded back, all right, glad you want to volunteer. You can do it. Go ahead, śabalā. Create that strength which will destroy the strength of all the foes there. Tasya tadvachanam shrutva.
Tasya tadvachanam shrutva.
Surabhi sa srujat tada.
Surabhi sa srujat tada.
Tasya humbharavotssrishta.
Tasya humbharavotssrishta.
Paplava shatasho nrupa.
Paplava shatasho nrupa.
Nashayanti balam sarvam.
Nashayanti balam sarvam.
Viśwāmitrasya pashyataha.
Viśwāmitrasya pashyataha.
So here onwards, various, either call it species or various forms of forces, she starts creating. So Paplavaha is the first kind of force, which is Plava. Plava is fly, float. So probably Air Force. Let's take it as Air Force. Satashaha Air Force. Paplavaha Satashaha. Tasya tadvachanam shrutva. Having heard the instruction of Vasishtha.
Air Force or boats or naval force? Paplava.
It can be either ones. Yeah, Plava is float. Float in air, float in water. Depends how we take. But assuming there is no water there, let's take it as a floating in air. Paplavaha is Air Force. Let's take it as. So Surabhi, then Surabhi, sa srujat tada. See, she has created then, past tense. What did she create? And how did she create? Tasyaha humbharava utsrishtaha. With her hum. You know how ranke we say in Telugu. I don't know what is that word in other languages. In Hindi or Marathi. Is there a word in Tamil? What is the sound of a powerful ox or bull or cow? When that is that hunkara.
Hambarada. Hambarada.
Right. So humbhara. Humbharava utsrishtaha. With her that exhale, powerful exhale, iti. And hum is also a bija aksharam, right? Mantra bija aksharam. And so with that hum sound, utsrishtaha, created up, paplavaha, several air floating forces, satashaha, in hundreds, nrupa, O king, who balam viśwāmitrasya pashyataha. Viśwāmitra has been just seeing so far, right? First of all, it released itself with that strength and ran away to Vasishtha. Quickly they had talked something there. And now she did hum, and hundreds of these air forces have got created. And what are they doing? Pashyataha. Pashyan of one who is seeing. Shashti Bhakti of Pashyan is Pashyataha.
Shatru Pratyaya.
Shatru Pratyaya Shashti Bhakti. Pashyan asti saha. Tasya Pashyataha Viśwāmitrasya. Of that one who is seeing, of that Viśwāmitra who is observing this, what is going on, Tasya Sarvam Balam Nashayanti. All these Paplavas, they started killing all the forces of Viśwāmitra. Balam Bhagnam Tato Drishtva.
Balam Bhagnam Tato Drishtva.
Rathena Akramya Kaushikaha.
रथेनाक्रम्य कौशिकः
स राजा परमक्रुद्धः
स राजा परमक्रुद्धः
क्रोधविस्फारितेक्षणः
क्रोधविष्पारितीक्ष्णः
पप्लवान् नाशयामास
पप्लवान् नाशयामास
शस्त्रैरुच्चावचैरपि.
शस्त्रैरुच्चावचैरपि.
So Viśwāmitra also is a Balavan, right? So why will he keep quiet? If so many air forces have come and are destroying his armed forces, so then Bhagnam Balam Tatah, after that, or then Bhagnam Balam Drishtva, by seeing the destroyed forces of Viśwāmitra, he, Kaushikaha, Viśwāmitra, Kushika's son, a descendant, Viśwāmitra, Rathena Akramya, with he boom jumped into the Ratha, and with that Ratha started, piercing into, entering into the Paplavan Nashayamasa. He has destroyed all these armed air forces created by Surabhi. Why? Because Saharaja Paramakrudhaha, very, very angry, Paramakrudhaha, very angry Viśwāmitra Raja, Krodha Visparitekshanaha, Visparita, Krodha Visparita, Ikshanaha. Iksha is eyes, Ikshanaha is vision. With the eyes, with the vision of well spread anger, wide eyes filled with anger. Krodha Visparita Ikshanaha, Krodha Visparita Ikshanaha. Krodha Visparita Ikshanaha, Paramakrudhaha Saharaja, Tataha Bhagnam Balam Drishtva, Kaushikaha Rathena Akramya Shastraihi Uchavachaihi Api Paplavan Nashayamasa. Shastraihi, with all weapons, and Uchavachaihi. Uchavachaihi is Ucha, with strong shouts, either Ninad, Hara Hara Mahadev, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, right? That is at an ordinary level. But if the next level, if you take mantras, Uchavacha is mantra, with various mantras and Shastra. That means he is able to apply astras also. Shastra is ordinary material weapon. When you apply mantra to it and release, that becomes astra. So in a way, he is saying that Shastra Uchavachaihi Api Paplavan Nashayamasta. Viśwāmitra also destroyed the complete air force created by Surabhi. Viśwāmitrāditān drishtva, Viśwāmitrārditān drishtva.
Viśwāmitrārditān drishtva.
Paplavan shatasastada.
Paplavan shatasastada.
Bhuya eva srijat kopat.
Bhuya eva srijat kopat.
Shakan yavana mishritan.
Shakan yavana mishritan.
So now the next species are coming. So Viśwāmitra arditan paplavan shatashaha drishtva, by seeing, because previously tasya tad bhagnam balam drishtva, Viśwāmitra, having seen his forces destroyed, he plunged into the Paplavas on chariot and killed all of them. Now Surabhi, looking at all arditan, ardana is, smashed. Janardhana, for people's sake, one who is going to smash all problems, all troubles, is Janardhana. So Viśwāmitra arditan, smashed by Viśwāmitra, Paplavan, all the Paplavas, Shatashaha, in the hundreds, Tada Drishtva, seeing them then, Bhuyaha, again, Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham, right? Again and again, time and again. So Bhuyaha, again, Eva, again she has Asrijat, she has again created Kopat, with anger. Man, you have killed all the air forces that I have created. I shall create now the next one. See, like that. So Asrujat kopat shakan yavana mishritan. So shakas is one
Clan.
one clan, Shaka. And then Yavana Mishra, Yavana, and they are sort of Shakas along with Yavanas. Yavana for us are two ways to look at. One, Westerners are Yavanas. Specifically, in one period it was Greeks. In the other periods, all the Muslims are called Yavanas. So Yavana Mishritan Shakan. In a way, I'm thinking, so Surabhi also is referring to those clans, those species of the West, who are primarily terrorists, essentially, who are destroyers. Right? We are soft. We have all this strength, spiritual, physical, material strength, armory, but we don't go to destroy things. So she had to create Yavanas and Shakas. And in fact, even if we read our history, so-called history also, they say, oh, Shakas also were invaders. When Yavanas came, they invaded us. Their work is to go destroy things. So she has created them to destroy Viśwāmitra. So, Sa Srujat Kopat Shakan Yavana Mishritan. We'll complete 3 more shlokas, it will be done. Taira Seed Samvrita Bhumihi.
Taira Seed Samvrita Bhumihi.
Shakair Yavana Mishritaihi.
Shakair Yavana Mishritaihi.
Prabhavadbhir Mahaviryaihi.
Prabhavid Mahaviryaihi. Vidbhir Mahaviryaihi.
Mahaviryaihi. Hema Kinjalaka Sannibhaihi. Hema Kinjalka Sannibhaihi.
Hema Kinjalka Sannibhaihi.
So then the Bhumi Taihi Samvrita Asit. Vratam is circle. Samyak Vratam, surrounded by, circled around. So the entire land there got circled, encircled. Encircled is Samvrita. Taihi, by them. By whom? Shakaihi, the Shakas that she has created. Yavana Mishritaihi, mixed with the Yavanas. Prabhavadbhihi, those who are being effective. Prabhava, creating the effect. Right? Prabhavadbhihi, by the effective Shakas and Yavana Mishritas. Prabhavadbhihi, Hema Mahaviryaihi, very warrior oriented, very strong in warfare. Mahaviryaihi, Hema Kinjalka Sannibhaihi. They are looking like Hema Kinjalkam. Hema Kinjalkam is golden, with all golden armory, with these kavachas, all these helmets, with all golden kanjal. Hema Kinjalka Sannibhaihi. With that forces, they have surrounded Viśwāmitra around. Dirghasit Patti Shadhair.
Dirghasi Patti Shadhair.
Hema Varnambaravritaihi.
Hema Varnambaravritaihi.
Nirdagdham Tadbalam Sarvam.
Nirdagdham Tadbalam Sarvam.
Pradiptairiva Pavakaihi.
Pradiptairiva Pavakaihi.
So to substantiate my feeling, my understanding, my thought, my comparison analysis of Shakas, Yavanas, which is Midwest or Middle East onwards to the West, who are primarily terrorists, destroyers. And their acts, which we have seen in as recent as 500 to 1000 years ago, is also recorded in Valmiki Ramayanam, which is millions of years ago. That species is such. West, in fact, that is why in Telugu recently that great poet, who is a movie lyricist also, but a great poet, and he was our RSS Bodhik Pramukh also, by name Sitaram Shastri. Srivanal Sitaram Shastri is how he is known as. He wrote one great song in K. Vishwanath's movie. Padamara Padagalapai. I don't know how many of you are Telugu here. Vishwara Prasad is Telugu, Aparnaji Telugu, Kausalya Telugu, Radeshi Telugu. Okay, so you'll all understand. For others, I will translate. Padamara Padagalapai, Merise Taralakai, Ratrini Varinchake, Sandhya Sundari, Turupu Vedikapai, Vekuva Nartanakai, Dhatrini Muripinche, Kantulu Chindani. So what he says is normally, Padamara Padaga, Padamara is west, Padaga is hoods. With Padamara Padagalapai, Merise Kantulu, with the glittering, see, typically hood of a serpent, they say, right, cobra has that monies. And so it is very tempting. Wow, it glitters. The West glitters with all benefits, material benefits. Oh, cars, speed, everything is automation. All this glitter of the West, right, is the glitter on the serpent. Padamara Padaga. They are hoods. What will it do? The glitter. You go nearby, it will bite, smite you, it will bite you, and it will kill you. So Padamara Padagalapai. And what is that? What kind of this West is? Padamara Padagalapai, Merise Taralakai, Ratrini Varinchake. These Western hoods are primarily nightly hoods, nightly activity, nightly civilizations. That is true, right? All the clubs, it's all club oriented, working late nights, staying midnight, day starting at the midnight. It's all night oriented one. And so in this night oriented civilization of the West, these small glitters on the hoods will seem like wow, but if they are the monies on the hoods of a serpent of the night of the Western civilization, it is going to kill you only. Whereas on the contrast, Turupu Vedikapai, on the eastern dais, on the eastern stage, Vekuva Nartaki, become the rising dancer. He's actually trying to motivate and inspire a dancer who is attracted to the West, to America. So he's trying to motivate her to stay back in India and continue with Bharatanatyam and our Indian dances. So he's saying on the east, what is east meant for? Sunrise. Sun rises on the east. Day starts in the east. West is sunset, night. And night is full of horrible things, terrorizing things, scary things, but it is glittery. Don't be tempted by that glitter of the West, which is poisonous. Be inspired by the rising arts and rising sun of the East. Turpu Vedikapai, Vekuva Nartakivai. Become that rising dancer on the Eastern stage, which Dhatrini Muripinche. There it was Ratri Varinchadam, Ratri Varanam, seeking the night. Here Dhatri Muripinche. As sun rises, the earth is Pulakita, becomes happy. Happy is an ordinary word. Earth becomes, the entire living on the earth is energized, right? Starting with all the flowers blossoming, all the birds chirping, all the greenery coming up, dust rising, healthy dust. In fact, even in here also, luckily, when I see, if you see in the early morning, if you see through the window, you will see dust particles rising. You will see white dust particles. Observe that. I keep observing it every time I see sun through the window. I can see white dust particles rising. Then I think, wow, through the rest of the day, I don't see dust particles rising. It is only in the morning sun, rising sun, that everything rises. There is so much of energy that is instigated, or that is instilled in us in the early morning rise. And that is why we are supposed to do Surya Namaskar, Sandhya Vandanam, all spiritual practices in the morning time, right? Including this study of Ramayanam also in the morning time. Anyway, so why I brought all of that is to say that Western thing, this Shaka, Yavanas, These guys are meant for the same activities, just that Surabhi is using them in the right way. Yojakas tatra durlabha. Right? We say, there is another Subhashitam, right? What is it?
Nasti amantram.
Amantram aksharam nasti. There is no akshara that cannot be made a mantra out of.
Yeah.
Nasti moolam
amulam
anaushadam.
aushadhi.
There is no root, there is no herb that cannot be used to make a good medicine. To correct.
Nasti ayogya purusha.
Ayogya purusha nasti. There is no useless fellow. Yojakaha tatra durlabha. You need a right coordinator, right organizer who puts right pieces in the right places and makes the puzzle complete and solves the puzzle. You need the proper solution architect there, right? So Surabhi did that here. She thought, okay, all right, these guys are worst fellows, but let's utilize their bad energies for the right purpose here. So what did they do? Pavakaihi pradiptaihi. This is the word where I got lost into digression so much. To substantiate, when I said Shakas and Yavanas are terrorists by nature, I'm on record. That's okay. But because see the activity they are doing. Pavaka is fire. Pradipta, glowing with fire. What do they know? Yavanas and Shakas, the only thing that they know is set things on fire. They would go set houses on fire, huts on fire, women on fire. Of course, anybody who is not listening to them on fire. That is the only job they know. That is what they have been doing since Ramayana, through that crusade activities, Spaniards, through Muhammad followers later in the world. Bombs. That is what they know. So Pavakaihi Pradiptaihi iva sarvam tad balam nirdagdham. All the balam of the Vishwāmitra is burnt, charred. By what? Dirgha asi pattisha dhareihi. One who all these shakas and that she has created, they were like dirgha asi. Asi is sword, long swords. Patti is bands. So they were having these long swords in their bands. Asi patti dhareihi. Those who are holding these swords and other weapons. Asi patti dhareihi hema varna ambara vrutaihi. Those who were in golden clad dresses. Hema varna ambara vrutaihi. By them, pavakaihi pradiptaihi iva. Just as fire would, when fire glows, you don't need any more light. That is as big as the biggest light as a sun, or as big sun as possible in that area. So much of light. Pradiptaihi pavakaihi tat balam sarvam nirdagdham. So this pavaka is the word that I got digressed by, only to substantiate the terms Shaka, Havana, Yavana, who are also terrorizing invaders for us, as recorded in so-called formal history also, and that we know otherwise also, is their nature, is what I wanted to substantiate, and so took so much time. We'll complete, sorry. Tatostrani mahateja.
Tatostrani mahateja.
Viśwāmitro mumochaha.
Viśwāmitro mumochaha.
Taistair yavanakambojah.
Taistair yavanakambojah.
Paplavaschakulikritaah.
Paplavaschakulikritaah.
So these guys, even though they have surrounded and started setting on fire, Viśwāmitraha mahatejaha astrani mumocha. Now he has released astras. Before he has used shastras with ucha vachaha. Now he has directly released astras, various astras. By that, taistaihi Yavana Kambhojaha Paplavascha Akulikrutaha. They were sort of fallen down. All of these Yavanas, Kambhojaha, Paplavaha, Kambhojas are like Shakas, and Paplavas, all of these were Akuli. Akuli is sorrowful, crying,
Distressed.
distressed.
Yeah.
So Akuli Krutaha, with the astras of Viśwāmitra that he has released, all these terrorist forces were distressed, were put to distress, put down to distress. Ityarshe
Ityarshe
Srimad Ramayane
Srimad
Srimad
Ramayana,
Ramayane
Valmikiye
Valmiki
Adikavye
Adikavye
Balakande
Balakande
Chatushpanchashas Sargah.
Chatuspanchashat Sargaha.
Sargaha.
Can anyone say the Shanti Mantra?
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyad Dukkha Bhag Bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Shubham. So we are meeting tomorrow also, right? All of you can attend tomorrow?
Yes,
Mahodaya.
Maharaj.
Mahodaya.
Uttamam, uttamam. So,
This Prashna Vijaya